Well, all right. I got a pretty light day on Friday, don't I? Already thinking about going out in the front yard and stringing out my nets and play a little street hockey by myself if I have to. So yeah. This series ended up being great. You know what's interesting to me though with this series? That all that ugliness, all that really nasty play in elimination games seems to disappear. I noticed that tonight. That as hotly contested as things get, and hotly contested can mean two things: really close play or people arguing over what happened. So it's both of those things. It's Barclay Goodrow back in the lineup, and did he ever help Tampa Bay? Like it does make a difference when he's in there. He's an underrated part of that team. There was an early Hornquist shot that was saved, so Florida was good out of the gate. Early puck control actually went to them. Hedman blocked a Verhaeghe shot. So again, Florida's playing well early in this game. Panthers had the only shot at 6 minutes. Tight game. One shot through 6 minutes of play, and it's for Florida. So Tampa Bay not getting shots, and then they get a shot. And that goes in. It's Maroon from Johnson and Sergachev, who I know Maroon's not very popular with Florida fans right now, and that definitely won't help. And that goal, there's going to be a little bit of controversy around that because icing was waved off kind of at the last moment. So I think Florida had let up. But we've talked about this all the way back to 2019, Jacob Trouba, in a play against the St. Louis Blues in round one, where you let up when you think it's going to be icing, and it ends up costing you. So you play right to the whistle, right? So that probably caught the Panthers off guard there. Definitely caught Spencer Knight off guard. And so the Bolts then tried to add to the lead. The shots, though, were 4-2 for Florida, 9 minutes into this. Knight denies Goudreau. Bolts would press. Hedman had a shot that was saved and held. Ruda had a shot that was saved. The Bolts play was picking up in the second half of the period. And that's the interesting thing, is that I would argue the first 10 minutes Florida plays them, but Tampa Bay's ahead on the scoreboard. Kucherov had a fast break that was saved. The Bolts holding the puck a lot in the second half. As in, if they had it and there wasn't a play, well, they had no problem going back to their own end and setting it up. Bolts fight off a press by the Panthers with 4 minutes left. Marchman had a tip that was saved by Vasilevsky. With 1:05 left, the Bolts end up with a power play. So that carries over into the second period. Second period, early saves by Spencer Knight. The Panthers then get a power play shortly after that. Big saves on the penalty kill by Vasilevsky. Vasy was just in his zone tonight. And this is why people view him as being the best goaltender in the league. And again, that's a whole open debate thing, but I still regard him as the best goalie in the league. Shots were 7-2 for the Panthers 6 minutes in. The momentum was on the Panthers' side after that power play. They didn't score on it, but they got opportunities. They got their confidence going, and they had a lot of opportunities at that stage. They do outshoot Tampa in this game. Gudis dumps Cirelli to the ice. Barkov had a spinning shot that went wide. The Bolts managed to clear it out. There was a fast break for the Panthers, and the Bolts end up icing it. So again, this score will tell you this was a really lopsided game, but the actual game itself was nowhere near as lopsided as the score may tell you. Hornquist had a chance that was denied. The Bolts tried to press back. The puck ends up going out. The Bolts end up with a power play, and they score on it. So it's Stamkos from Hedman and Kucherov at 13:27. The pass by Hedman was fantastic. The goal by Stamkos, equally fantastic. No chance for Knight on that one. Again, welcome to the NHL, kid. Panthers would then try to answer. They end up with a power play. They had a heavy press during that power play, but the Bolts managed to clear it out. And then they complete the kill, and Vasilevsky again becoming quite the story in the Tampa Bay net yet again. The Bolts had a 2-on-1 that was defended. The fans wanted a call there. Tampa Bay fans wanted a call. The Panthers couldn't get to the Bolts net late. There was a last-minute press by Tampa Bay. So we go to the third period. Scores 2-0 in favor of Tampa. And at this point, looking at how this game's been played, I'm saying, barring a miracle, for Florida, Tampa Bay's moving on to the second round. I just didn't see how this wasn't going to end up with Tampa Bay winning the game. The shots were three apiece at 3.5 minutes, which I thought was high. I was like, a shot a minute, I don't know. But the Panthers were pressing. while Vasilevsky was without a stick, and Tampa Bay survives. And this is just how their night worked. Florida had opportunities, goaltenders without a stick. That's where you might see a goal in other games. You don't see it tonight. Hedman had a point shot that didn't get through. The Bolts were defending well against desperate Panthers, and Florida did play desperate hockey here. Palat to point nearly connects. Kucherov then just fails to bury one. Very close. The Panthers press again. Killorn then had a shot that was saved by Knight. Cirelli blocks Forsling's shot. And then he carried it down the ice. So Cirelli sacrificing the body and playing the defensive game that we all know he can play. The Bolts continue, forcing shots to stay to the outside. The shots were 5-4 for the Panthers at the half, but that's where you get to what are the quality of shots and how dangerous are they? And the answer is they were making sure they weren't very dangerous shots. The Bolts had a 2-on-1. That was broken up. The clock is down to 8 minutes left at this point. So every time you get that puck down the ice, you're killing another 20 to 30 seconds. Barkov had a shot that was saved. Duclair then fires one wide. And it looked like a power play for the Panthers with 7 minutes left as they were setting up. But it is 5-on-5. It just looked like Tampa was killing a penalty because of the setup. And again, I mean, there's some feeling of, could Tampa blow this? But at the same time, this is your defending Stanley Cup champions. They're up 2-0. They're up 3-2. They're at home. Odds are probably not. There was a turnover to Weegar, and then Vasilevsky with a beautiful toe save. So beautiful save by Vasilevsky. The puck goes the other way. Chernak quickly to Kucherov, who then gets it to point. Point ragged the puck, and again, for Spencer Knight, he can watch the video on this. Some of these goals, I don't think he had a chance on. This one he didn't either. It was a patient goal by Point. Make the goalie commit and put it around him. That makes it 3-0. So Florida, desperate to try to tie this up. They pulled the goaltender with 4 minutes and 15 seconds left, but they couldn't set up 6-on-5. And Tampa Bay completely satisfied to ice the puck and just say, no, we'll keep it at your end of the ice, or if it's coming to ours, fine, but we're going to make sure there's no flow to this. Huberdeau then fires one wide. Bennett fired one high. The Bolts would ice it again. On the next play, Tippett had a shot that was saved. The Bolts would clear it, and then they get some opportunities. And sure enough, it's Killorn, who's had a very good series, gets the empty netter from Chernak and Stamkos. So Chernak with a couple of assists in this game. That's at 18-18. This is as close to a perfect game as Tampa Bay's had in these playoffs. They win this series 4-2. They will now wait upon the winner of Carolina and Nashville. Those teams play tomorrow. I have a feeling that Tampa Bay might be pulling for a Nashville win, so that series goes to 7. Get them nice and tired. But with 24.2 seconds left, just to put the period onto this game and finish it off, Tampa Bay had a power play as well. So your final score is 4-0. And yeah, Tampa Bay was pretty good tonight. Shots were 8 apiece in the first, 11-7 Florida in the second, 10-9 Florida in the third. Final shots 29-24 for Florida. Panthers were 0 for 2 on the power play. Tampa Bay was 1 for 3. The hits 32-27 in favor of Tampa Bay. Block shots 13-12 in favor of Tampa Bay. Spencer Knight, 20 saves on 23 shots. The kids saw firsthand Tampa Bay's pretty good. Vasilevsky saves all 29 shots. This is only his second career playoff shutout. That doesn't sound right, but that's the number. So, yeah, second career playoff shutout. Vasilevsky, we'll see how things go for them from here. But quite the series. There is an actual feud. There is actual hatred and anger now between Florida and Tampa. And I guess the one thing I wonder is, so is this a one and done? Because with Florida, right, we've been waiting, and now it's 25 years. They haven't got out of the first round. They don't get out of the first round this year either. Do they fall back next year in your traditional Atlantic Division, or have they got something going this year that they can build on? Did they benefit from the fact that the Central Division had some really bad teams in it? Maybe it juiced up the record a little bit. What was it? And yet, at the same time, you could say, well, they finished ahead of Tampa in the regular season. Right. So it'll be interesting to see what happens next year if they fall back. But for Tampa, your defending Stanley Cup champions, they seem to be getting better as this series is going along. This, again, as I said, their best game of the series. And even though they were the road team to start the series, they managed to win it in 6. So they'll be looking to recreate this template for their next round, whether it's against Carolina or Nashville. So the question becomes, Tampa Bay, are they legitimately set to go back-to-back? Can they go back-to-back? How's this going to work for them? And is Florida going to end up falling back next year? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. And again, congratulations to the Tampa Bay Lightning. And take it from me, somebody who does like the Florida Panthers, and I want to see them do well. I really hope this year is a sign that they're going to start climbing up the standings more regularly, and that this core has found a way to win. I do wish them the best. Hopefully, they don't fall back next year. They could, though. We'll see. Thank you guys so much for all your support. I'll talk to you again soon.